All right, folks, we are here. Go ahead, Q.
Welcome, everybody. It is Wednesday. It is January 27th, the last Wednesday of the month. You are on live on the greatest soul show on the web, powered by the Neo Soul Show. Did I say that wrong? I said that wrong.
Powered by Neo Soul Cypher.
I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna
Yeah, we're gonna get that right one of these days, Q. I don't know. You've only been doing it for how many years, but it's all good. We have changed the name. So
yeah, I was gonna say, to my defense, it does keep changing. But. So I'm live here. We've got Ray, we've got Regina. Regina, however, is having technical difficulties. She is still using a computer made by Atari, so she's bouncing in and out with issues. But we're gonna keep it going as only we can. So while we work out those technical difficulties, and before we get into our guest and all the good stuff that we have this week. What's going on in the news this week?
Man, there's a lot. So one of the things I thought would be interesting for us to touch on a little bit this week is what happened with the biopic for Salt and Pepper.
Ooh,
yeah,
yes.
It's pretty juicy.
Cinderella's very unhappy. I heard.
Yes, she is.
What was she wasn't asked to be a part of it or something like that.
Right. And I think this goes back a number of years. Unfortunately, Cinderella has had some issues with Salt and Pepper, Sandy, and I forget the other one's name exactly, but they've had issues over the years, and I think there's a lawsuit actually that Cinderella has filed, but she never, I guess, thought that they would still leave her out for the majority of this particular biopic. And so she's upset. She was posting on social media, from what I understand. You know how Black Twitter is.
Yeah,
it can get a little hot and sticky, and and folks were not having the fact that Cinderella wasn't on the show. So,
well, I mean, she was a major cog of the group.
Looks like
managed to join.
Oh, I just hurt my hand. Hey,
what's going on, Regina?
Nothing much, guys.
We were just talking about the Salt and Pepper biopic.
Yeah. I had every intention of watching it today. However, there was a full moon, and I started sitting there looking at the full moon. I was excited about the full moon on the water, and that was it.
I feel you.
Did you watch it? Or Q Man said he didn't. Well, earlier you said you did.
No, I haven't watched it yet, but I have been reading all of the issues that Cinderella has with Salt and Pepper. I remember seeing her whenever I would go to Nets games, because she used to date Kenny Anderson for some reason. I guess it was because of his contract, and she didn't care that he looked like a bat. So
easy. Easy.
Is Kenny Anderson a friend of the show or something?
Man.
Oh my God.
Kenny Anderson does look like a bat.
All right. Well, Kenny had some game, so
Kenny was good. Sure.
Yeah.
One day we'll get into the conversation, because the Nets never should have drafted him first when they had an all-pro point guard already. But that's neither here nor there.
There you go.
Story for another day. But Salt and Pepper biopic, Cinderella's upset, and with good reason. Female DJ back then, pretty much unheard of. Yeah. So I consider her groundbreaking, and it's a shame that usually when women are being having their legacy stolen, or man washed or whatever, is usually by men. So
right.
That this one, she's having her legacy taken away by women. So
yeah. So it's unfortunate, but I hear the movie was pretty good, and although I have recorded, I haven't had a chance to take a look at it either quite yet, but I hear it was pretty good. But for the other issue that I heard was that the casting was a little weird, in the sense that no one looked like the actual people. Right? So, but I guess that can happen.
Well, it's hard to get people to look like, I don't know if you guys have seen the girl from Twilight. I can't think of her name.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. She also played in one of those princess movies.
Whoever she is, the girl from,
Yeah.
the girl from Twilight.
Yeah.
She is playing Princess Diana. And if you get the chance, Google the picture, because for some reason she eerily looks just like Princess Diana. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
So, yeah, they have the power to do that when they really want to, but Salt and Pepper biopic.
Yeah, I was trying to think who would be good for those roles. I was trying to think about that.
Well, they got some young actresses because they had to, because Salt and Pepper back in the mid '80s were pretty young. So they got some new up and coming folks, from what I understand, who were dancers primarily, but now kind of getting into the acting genre. So there you go.
Tom Brady's back in the Super Bowl.
Yes, that's quite boring.
For 10 times. 10 times in the Super Bowl.
That is boring.
That's almost 20% of all Super Bowls played.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
It is amazing when you think about it, honestly. You start to wonder, it's like, who has dominated their sport like that? And the only other person that comes to mind, honestly, only two people that come to mind are Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Not so much Lamar Jackson, huh?
No. Shots fired. Shots fired, Regina. Shots fired.
You were so hopeful last show.
Really well.
You were so hopeful at the last show. You were talking about the Ravens. You were so excited. You were gonna sip mimosas while Lamar Jackson ran all over, and it just didn't work out that way.
I say mimosas. It was disappointing. It was a little disappointing, but I'm still a fan, and I'm still hoping for next year. Hater.
Tom Brady's 43-year-old guy in the Super Bowl again.
He's what?
43-year-old guy in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You got to give him his props. No, how much you might not like him, you got to give him his props.
That is really something. It really is.
Yeah, and it's not just. It can't just be luck.
No, it can't.
Yeah.
So, you guys have like mixed feelings, like with him. Like,
I do.
It's cognitive dissonance with me. Like, I'm like, well, he cheats. He's been known to cheat, and blah, blah, but he's this age, and he's still kicking it. So I'm sort of like torn. It's like with the Steelers. I'm like, I hate the Steelers. They have a black coach. So you're sort of like, I feel with Tom Brady, because I'm like, he's older. That's.
I was a professional athlete, and I had already won a Super Bowl, and I'm trying to build a legacy. I would cheat every chance I got.
Nice. Thank you. We really appreciate that, Q.
I would do whatever I had to do to keep winning championships. So that you would talk about me for the next 100 years. I would deflate footballs. I would do whatever I needed to do. I would replace the other team's Gatorade or put things in it. I would do whatever it took to win. So I can't blame them for cheating.
What's that like?
I'm not going to cheat.
A role model for children.
Look at baseball. They all cheat.
This is true.
Professional athletes cheat.
What they say, if you're not cheating, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, right?
Exactly. At the end of the day, you're only going to talk about who won.
Yeah.
That's it. But our guest tonight, Dan G. Regina, tell me about him.
You know what? I love his music. He's very fun to talk to.
Irish fella, right?
Ireland. I've never gone to Ireland. Would like to see Ireland, but I'm a bit disappointed. I like his music, but he was supposed to wear like a Superman pajamas, and he comes on like with a shirt and tie today, and I'm like, what is this? You promised me you're gonna wear Superman pajamas. No, it's a private joke, because you guys know we're on a different time zone.
You're making private jokes about the guest in his pajamas. That's what's happening.
But he is
He's not even spoken yet, and you're being inappropriate. This is a trend that we really got. I'm already uncomfortable.
Because he's tired. Hi, Danny G. How are you?
Yeah, look, the pajamas were part of the contract, and I don't know. my people, they got the memo mixed up. They told me Motown, Motown look. So I got them mixed up. I'm sorry. I'm just happy to be here.
Welcome to the show. We're glad to have you, Danny.
Thanks so much, guys.
How's everything?
Yeah, it's good. It's 2 a.m. here, so I stayed
2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm in Dublin in Ireland, and
oh my goodness,
there's a bit of time difference. So I've been eating sugar and drinking coffee, and kind of it's been kind of fun. I've been like doing loads of stuff. I've been real productive.
Wow, I've never been there. Always wanted to go. Never been there. Not one time. How is it? Is it beautiful? Is it warm? Is it?
I mean, right now it's it's not great because the whole country's shut down.
Right.
But most of the time it's nice. Yeah. It's a small kind of city off the coast of Europe, so we kind of got everything about 50 years later than the rest of the world, so we're kind of catching up. But yeah, it's like musically speaking, it's kind of the same as anywhere else in the world at this point, just probably because of the internet. I mean, look, I'm an Irish guy making soul music, so I'm kind of living.
That's the beautiful thing. Our world is so small and accessible now,
right?
And you gotta love that. You gotta love it. I mean, obviously, it has its downside because viruses spread very easily as a result. But on the other hand, you get great music and you get great culture across borders. So that's a good thing.
Wow. So I want to jump right in. Tell me about your trip to Venezuela.
Oh man, yeah, I'm married to a Venezuelan woman, Rosa, and I mean, I went there in 2013 for the first time, and it was just a culture shock, like crazy. No products on shelves, and just not safe to go anywhere. But at the same time, like this beautiful paradise, beaches and mountain ranges and savannas, and it's just this kind of contradiction. And at the same time, oil was basically free, but yet you had to pay, like inflation is like over 10 million% or something crazy. So it's all these. So I wrote the song When It All Runs Out about that, about how oil was pretty much like their without getting too political, their government, is pretty corrupt, and there's this whole tug of war with the oil between the states and everything. So I wrote that song basically not just about Venezuela, but about kind of addressed to all world leaders. Kind of, is it really worth it to go to war over a resource that's going to be gone in about 30 years anyway? Wow. The song's more lighthearted than I'm making it out to be, but I was kind of going for the classic kind of protest song in the style of what's going on, but more like a love song to the world, as opposed to like an angry kind of protest song.
Nice.
No, that's great. Q's got some light.
A little bit. I'm struggling over here with light. Don't look at that.
No, but that's a great story in terms of the whole Venezuela thing, and then an inspiration. And so, what would you call your other inspiration in terms of your style of music, and what made you, wanted to do soul music as someone who's in Dublin?
Yeah, well, my dad's a singer-songwriter. He's a Dutch singer-songwriter, but he kind of turned me on to the Beatles and Elton John and these kind of guys when I was a teenager. And I started digging around his collection, and I think what turned it was I can even pinpoint the exact song. It was Maybe Your Baby by Stevie Wonder on Talking Book. That was the one that just kind of I was like, what is this? You know, this is, and it was funk, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, what is this sound? You know, and then I found What's Going On, and then I kind of just listened to Marvin Gaye kind of exclusively for about 3 or 4 years, and then eventually found out about Neo Soul and D'Angelo. I think it was the RH Factor actually that opened that world for me.
Lovely.
Kind of weirdly enough, it was like an obscure enough album, but I didn't realize like Erykah Badu was on it. The album Hard Groove, Roy Hargrove's band, and I just kind of got obsessed with this. I was like, what? You know, again, this same kind of realization. What is this? This hip hop kind of groove, but it's like Motown, but it's not. You know, and there's all these jazzy, crazy trumpet lines going on. What's going on here? So it kind of changed my whole perspective, and I was always writing songs, but they're kind of like 60s-ish pop songs. But then I kind of said, okay, if I'm going to do music, I wanted to try and sound like this, at least try and sound like this. What's the point otherwise, you know?
What are the venues like there regarding Neo Soul music? Or
it's actually a really healthy place for live music. I mean, in 2020 and 2021 notwithstanding, that's probably the best thing about Dublin is the live music scene, because it's so close to Europe. We can get these great jazz, R&B, hip hop artists to kind of swing by for a night, you know, because they play in London, they come here, and I've just been privileged. I've seen so many great artists in Dublin, and the venues are kind of small, so it's kind of still intimate. So yeah, that's one of the best things actually about Dublin. If you come to Dublin, live music. Yeah.
No, wow. I'm looking forward to it, man. Trust me, when this whole thing is over, we're gonna be doing this world tour. I'm looking forward to a world tour. So
the most famous place is called Whelan's. It's got this kind of reputation, but it looks small enough, but it's kind of crammed in. Get about 300 people in there. But I was lucky enough to support PJ Morton there when he was rolling into town. It was just like it was just him and, well, no, he had a soul band with him. He tore the roof off the place. But I just saw that he was coming, and I emailed the promoter, and I sent him about 3 or 4 emails, and I don't think they had support lined up, and they're just like, yeah, come along. You won't get a sound check, but just come along and do your thing. And I couldn't get a drummer for the gig, so we just did this acoustic thing, and it was terrifying. But I had to do it just because it was PJ Morton.
Man, he's definitely one of my favorites. One of my favorites. He hits him so hard, yeah. He's also the organist or for Maroon 5, right?
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that's kind of a weird
keyboard. Yeah.
Yes, remember, right when we went to South by Southwest.
That's right. We did. We actually, Regina and I saw PJ live, and the vibe was just off the chain. I mean, he's incredible, absolutely incredible. We got to see him in a somewhat intimate setting as well at South by Southwest, so it was really
awesome.
nice, really nice. Yeah.
Well, Danny G is incredible too, and we're gonna have and that's the perfect segue to hear one of Danny G's songs.
Yes, we're gonna hit him with "Believe." So here you go, "Believing," I should say.
Sweet.
You've been in love like this before. Now someone knocking on your door. You got a lot of love to give, but you don't wanna hurt no more. Oh, it's right in front of you. You're gonna find it, gonna find it, gonna find it, gonna find it, find it. What I feel inside is real. That's what my heart is beating for. Yeah, you give me good feeling. My soul's healing. Got me believing in something. And even if you end up leaving, got me believing in something. Don't know what it is, but you got me smiling again. It's something, well, it's something you do. Now I'm believing in love again.
I know you treat me like a queen. Now I know what the singers mean when they croon about cloud nine and the beauty they've seen. Oh,
It's right in front of me.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Although you don't belong to me, it's by your side I wanna be.
Yeah, get good feeling. My soul's healing. Got me believing in something.
And even if you were not leaving me, got me believing in something.
I don't know what it is, but you got me smiling again. It's something, well, it's something you do. Believe it. Now I believe it in love again. Yeah, get good feeling. My soul's healing. Got me believing in something. And even if you are not feeling, still I'm believing in something. Don't know what it is, but you got me smiling again. It's something, well, it's something you do.
Don't believe
I believe in love again. Well, it's something you do.
don't believe it.
I believe it.
Funky.
Fantastic song. It makes me want to wreck the gaff.
Wow. You guys say wreck the gaff over there? No.
No, they don't. I did that just for you.
Wow.
Okay, you're gonna have to
I'm
break that
honored.
one down. You're gonna have to break that one down, Q.
It's just a saying in Dublin. That's all.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
It means like destroy the place, like go
Yes.
wild, wreck the gaff.
Nice.
It means a lot to me that you looked that up.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, actually, you did. I love that song. I absolutely love that song.
Yes, it's a
Yeah.
great song. So
Thanks so much.
tell us about some inspiration behind that song.
That one is called Believing. It was kind of, I was in a kind of a bad place at the time, kind of low self-esteem, kind of bad relationship, and then and just not just about relationships, but also kind of about the world. Like I was kind of low in motivation and getting kind of cynical. And then I met my now wife, and it wasn't just that she meeting her, it was like she kind of woke me up, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I started believing again, and whether that's something spiritual or even just believing in like the goodness of people, or just believing that it's going to be okay. So that's what the song is about.
Nice. Nice. What's a great song?
Yeah. So tell me, what was the inspiration around those harmonies? I love the harmonies that you did, and it's pretty layered there. Who thought of that?
Yeah, that's. I guess I'm just. That's probably just the D'Angelo influence.
Okay. Okay.
A few of me and a few friends, we put on the entire Voodoo album. We did a tribute gig. We did it 3 times actually all together.
Yep.
And we 4 of us shared the vocals, and we like it was crazy now thinking back. We learned every single part, and we listened to the tracks, like we broke down every single harmony, and sometimes he's got like 16 voices on there.
Yeah.
And I later found out that he was quadrupling every single track, so not only harmonies, but every single voice was quadrupled, and he got this.
So he was doing. I mean, he was playing the different levels of the harmony himself, and putting them in quadruple. Wow.
Yeah. So if there were 4 voices, that means there were like 16 tracks, and
right.
And that kind of blew my mind. So for this album, I didn't go that far. I triple tracked, because I was like, look, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the sound is, I don't know what it is, but it's a better blend, or it sits in the mix better, or it doesn't kind of impose itself so much. You can kind of choose. It's just another instrument, basically, the voice in the mix, and and you can kind of sing kind of softly, and it's still kind of strong. So I basically just took that from D'Angelo, I suppose. Although I was reading that he was basing that on Marvin Gaye when he did the I Want You album. So
it all comes back in full circle, doesn't it?
yeah.
D'Angelo's a very talented musician too.
Say again?
He's very talented. Not just he's very talented. I mean, you don't know the video.
You cut out a little bit, Regina. You're cutting out. I think I know where you're going with that video.
He's a very talented not just a singer. He's a very talented musician, D'Angelo.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a genius, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he's that's sort of underrated as a musician, because I don't know if everyone knows that he's just, because that's what I'm saying. That video was just that video, and you see that, and you thought, that was his staple, and it's like, oh, he's a sexy guy. He's actually very talented as a musician. Yeah.
Danny, are people surprised when they hear your voice?
I've had it a few times, less and less now, actually. When I did my first album, when I did my first album, it was 5 years ago. People didn't really know what to make of me in Ireland. There weren't really that many people doing that kind of music. It was mostly rock and like acoustic singer-songwriter stuff, which is cool as well. But it was kind of the only thing that's on the radio here. But now it's like it's changed so much in like 5 years. I don't know what's happened. If it's just people getting more, they're not listening to one genre anymore. If it's good, they like it, or if it's, I don't know, if it's the result of, I don't know, second generation immigration, maybe. But something is happening, and Ireland is suddenly a lot more receptive to new ideas and new styles of music. So it's kind of like a musical revolution that's happening here. There's like Irish hip hop, Irish Neo Soul.
Wow.
So more and more, it's like more acceptable now, I think. Whereas a few years ago, people were looking at me like, what's this guy doing?
Wow. I did not know that I didn't know that. See, you're bringing us a lot of knowledge today, Danny.
And at first it's kind of strange because you hear Irish accents, rapping and stuff. But once you get used to it, it's just normal.
Well, there was an American-based hip hop group back in the
knew you were going to go there.
Early '90s. Had to go there. House of Pain. I don't know if
you were going to bring them up.
Had to do that.
Yeah, top of the morning to you.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic songs ever came from them.
Yep.
Can you rap? Can you rap?
No.
You rap for us?
No.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking
I
about.
know.
I wish I could.
His voice is the perfect singing voice, Regina. He's
Very
doing
much,
exactly what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
very much so.
So, how's the
Thanks,
pandemic
appreciate that.
treating you, Danny?
How's it pandemic?
How is it treating you in terms of your work, your creative process? Being in the house.
It's hard. It's hard. I was because I'm working for I have a full-time job. I'm working for TikTok at the moment.
What? Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like moderating
Wow.
videos and stuff. I started in May 2020. Like the pandemic hit Ireland, I think March last year. So, and I was ready to because I was singing in a wedding band as well. I just joined this wedding band and they were playing like soul music and funky stuff. And we had all these gigs booked and I was kind of planning my year and I was like, look, I can, cause I have 2 kids as well. So like, look, I can stay home, take care of the kids and then play gigs at night. It's going to be perfect. And then everything just changed
Yeah.
immediately. And it was just, okay, don't quit the day job kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Not just
So I'm lucky because I do have that, but a lot of my friends are just kind of struggling right now. Not just financially, but kind of also in a mental health capacity because they're like,
Yeah.
I'm used to playing gigs and not just like it's also the validation, of people watching you and clapping or even just seeing that people are digging it, which is suddenly gone. You're just kind of putting it on the internet now and hoping that people dig it. It's I don't know, everything's kind of changed. So I go through periods of not doing anything for like a month or two, and then the opposite because I released a track during lockdown as well, called Darling with 2 other Irish artists. Actually, one of them's from Florida,
Oh, okay.
but a collaboration because I didn't have the band, so I just made everything on GarageBand, so it doesn't kind of sound like my other stuff. So in that way, it's kind of good because it's a new limitation. It changes things and it kind of streamlines your focus sometimes. So yeah, there's positives as well, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question. How do you want to fit yourself into that? Since you really focus on Neo Soul, how do you want to fit yourself into the Neo Soul universe? What would you like your impact to be there in Ireland, around the world, here in the U.S.? What do you like to see for yourself?
Wow, that's a real good question. I used to think, oh, I'd like to go on tour with my music, and then after I had kids, I was like, that doesn't appeal to me anymore. I don't want to be away from my family. And then the idea of success just kind of changed for me, and now success is just if people are digging my music, that's all I need. Like it's almost it sounds kind of cliche to say that. It's almost like the goal isn't as important as the process, like actually making the album itself.
Yeah.
I feel that's the success, and then anything else is a bonus kind of thing. And maybe I should be setting my sights higher. Maybe I need a manager. but honestly, that's just what I'm happy to do because I don't make much money from streaming. There's no gigs right now. I'm selling some vinyl. I should plug that. I'm bringing out the new album on vinyl at the end of this month.
Yeah. Hey, we have a proposition for you, and I know a guy who knows a guy, and we could put that vinyl on our site and be a retailer for you if you like.
Oh man, yeah, you're talking.
Nice.
So
that'd be great.
yeah, we'd love to do that. We'd love to do that. So let's consummate a deal on StreamYard.
Yeah, we said it on it's live, so it has to happen now.
That's right.
Well, we should hear another song.
Yeah, we should. And I I'm debating, and I don't want you to choose, Danny, because you gave us 2 others. You gave us When It All Runs Out and Say When, and I want you to choose as opposed to me. So you let me know which vibe you want.
Well, okay. Well, When It All Runs Out is the protest song, and it's kind of based on on a what's going on kind of vibe.
Yep.
Except it's got like Latin percussion because it's got the Venezuela
Right.
touch.
Right.
And then Say When is a more kind of classic neo soul ballad in the style of D'Angelo. So I'm flipping it on you guys.
Then usually Regina chooses.
Say
So
when.
we're gonna let Regina choose then.
Say when, because I
Say
listen.
when? All right. All right. So we got that. All right, here we go.
Excellent choice.
Yay.
Stop what you're doing. I've got something wanna say to you, and how I'm sorry by the way I've been treating you. I've been caught up in my own thing, made you feel invisible. And how could I do that when I made a promise to love you? Well, that's what I'm gonna do to you. I'm not gonna stop till you say when, say when, say when. I'm not gonna stop till you say when, say when, say when. I'm not gonna stop.
By your promises, I've heard them all before, every single one. Don't want you to talk about it. Just show me.
Show me.
Come on, come don't delay. The only words I wanna hear say are, stop what you're doing to me, honey. Just love me. 'Cause that's what I'm gonna do to you. I'm not gonna stop till you say when, say when, say when. I'm not gonna stop till you say when, say when, say when. I'm not gonna stop.
I don't wanna stop it all. No, no.
Stop it all. I know you should love to ball, baby.
I'm gonna break down every wall just to love you. Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
What I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do.
What I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm gonna do. Gonna stop.
I'm not gonna stop.
Gonna stop.
I'm not gonna stop.
Gonna stop.
Stay away.
Stay away. Gonna stop.
Not gonna stop.
I'm not gonna stop. No, I don't wanna stop. Don't make me. I'm never gonna stop. Say you say when.
See you say when.
Say when. I'm not gonna stop it all.
Yes,
Say when. Say when. Oh, say when. Say I'm not gonna stop.
That's hot.
That's amazing.
Song. That's a nice song.
It's a really
Yes.
Package, man.
Yes. We got some talent on this show, man. I tell you. Gosh.
I got a shout out to my my duet partner there, Osmo Jam. She's a French singer from Paris, and we collaborated to make that song virtually.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, we did it all over the internet.
Well done.
Wow.
That's-
Definitely well done. Yeah. So are you a producer as well? Do you have a producer?
I have a producer. No, I'm not. I can't really be objective. I think so. I have a guy have a guy called Ken McCabe. He's a genius, and I give him the everything, and he vetoes a lot of stuff. Like I'm like, oh, I want to do another harmony, and he's like, no, that's enough. Step away. So he's, because otherwise I'm too objective. I can't be objective. I should say, I'm too close to the songs.
Yeah, no, I feel you. We actually have a chat question for you. Someone is on the chat, and I'm going to repeat the question for you. It says, "That was fantastic. Curious if he attributes any of the growth of Neo Soul in Ireland to the influence of folks in the UK like James Blake."
Wow, interesting. Yeah, you know what? James Blake was actually a huge influence for me. And one of the tracks on my album, Call Me, is directly influenced from one of his songs. But you know what? I never would have thought of him as Neo Soul, but actually, yeah, he kind of does fit that category. It's really kind of minimal, stripped back, kind of almost dub soul, maybe. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the UK is just right next to us, so
and Neo Soul is so big in the UK. Oh my gosh, and London in particular.
I mean, even back to people like Omar. Omar.
Yeah,
in the 90s. But yeah, for sure, James Blake is a hero.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of people right now. Georgia Smith is another one.
Oh yeah. She is. She is it soon? What's that song? February 3rd, or is it that? But she's really good. Really a big fan of hers. Yeah.
Danny G, what's next for you?
What's next is I am releasing I'm going to release an EP of Irish covers in a Neo Soul style. So maybe songs that you wouldn't really consider like Irish traditional folk songs, or
like songs? Isn't what 100 miles? I will walk 400 miles.
Close. Scottish.
There's not.
But yeah, but we have that Gaelic connection. They're Celts too. Yeah.
What about Come on, Eileen?
I think they're UK, those guys, but I'm not actually sure.
This right now, right?
But Irish guys are like Van Morrison is from Northern Ireland, and I don't know if you know Thin Lizzy. They're a big rock band in the 80s.
I don't.
They had some songs like "The Boys Are Back in Town" and "Dancing in the Moonlight." A few of those songs. So yeah, a few covers of like old rock Irish songs, and in a Neo Soul style. That's what I'm doing next, anyway.
Cool.
Nice.
Dancing in the Moonlight is by an Irish band.
There's two Dancing in the Moonlights. This has come up a few times. There's like Dancing in the Moonlight, which is a different song. This is like when I passed you in the doorway where you took me with a glance. It's maybe it's just in Ireland that I think this is famous for the world, but it's only here,
Nice.
Very smooth, Danny.
Thin Lizzy is the band.
Okay. Well, you got to keep us abreast of everything that you're doing, man. We'd love to stay in touch with you and make sure that we at least one of the outlets for you in terms of getting your music out, because we love it. We love it. We love your talent, and we love your energy and your passion.
Thanks so much. It's a real honor to come on and talk to you guys. Like, I've been looking forward to it.
We appreciate you staying up late to talk to us.
It's a pleasure. Give me a reason to stay up late.
Beard is fantastic.
Yeah.
We will be sure to spread the word and stay in touch with you and all that good stuff, man. And everybody where they can find you and your music and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for asking me, because I always forget to say my website is dmajor7ths.com. So the band is called Danny G and the Major Sevenths. And the website is dmajor7s.com, and all my socials are also dmajor7s.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
like the chord. It's a nerdy music joke. But yeah.
D-Major7. We will definitely stay in touch with you, man. We look forward to partnering with you. And as I said, at the minimum, we're going to have to sell some of your vinyl. At the minimum. Yeah. So, hey, before we go, there was another point on the chat that I feel like I want to mention. So someone says, he'd be amazing reimagining Ode to My Family by the Cranberries. I don't know if you're familiar with them. So I just throw that out there as an artistic inspiration for you. So
Cranberries. I totally forgot about the Cranberries. Probably the biggest Irish group. Yeah, in the 90s.
Yeah.
You probably know Linger and Dreams.
Yeah.
Amazing band. Dolores O'Riordan, she passed away a few years ago. I'll try that one. I'd love to try that one. Thanks for the suggestion.
They've already done Zombie, right? There's already been another remake of Zombie, actually.
Oh yeah,
a really good remake too.
You couldn't even. I'd be afraid to even touch that song. It's too perfect,
And, yeah, everyone loves that song.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good classic.
Wow.
Wait to hear that. I can't wait to hear your Irish songs.
Well,
Neo Soul style.
Take the suit off, get some rest.
I'm gonna sleep in this thing. Never taking it off.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and yeah, man, we're not gonna hold you another second, man. We appreciate everything, man.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely, Danny. Appreciate you, man. Look forward to staying in touch. All right.
Take care, Danny.
All right.
Wow.
He's listening.
Cool.
All the way from Dublin.
All the way from Dublin. Yeah.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Boss was here. I didn't do any of my accents or anything.
Oh man.
I didn't do any of that stuff. Why you always got to look confused?
I want to hear.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We just had a great guest on. He was really good. Really.
Yeah. Plus, and I must admit, I love the approach to the production. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love what they're doing with their production. And like I said, I mean, that's the thing. This show has been amazing over the last number of weeks, in particular in terms of the talent. And I'm looking forward to us helping to get that talent out more as we kind of reconnect with these artists and make sure that more people than are listening right now get to listen. And in that vein, I have to mention that we're going to have a new feature. So these live streams that we're doing right now that you can access from our website live are now going to also be able to be archived. So we're going to have the ability for people to see and hear these shows on an ongoing basis from this show on. So we're excited about that. And so that we can make sure that more people get to hear these wonderful folks real time, and also whenever they can fit it into their time. So we're looking forward to that.
That's great. That's great. It was great talking to him. Knowing that he's from Ireland, and we're all going through the same thing. I guess sometimes, some of us may not always keep that in mind. When you're feeling lonely or what have you about this COVID thing, but it's not just us. So that was very. I don't know. I don't know. Just made me feel a certain type of. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in the Western world, quote unquote, is pretty much going through something very similar. For good or bad, obviously I think we could have all taken some different approaches so that we may have kind of experiencing the things that folks in the Far East are experiencing some better outcomes than we are at this point. But it is what it is at this point. We got to make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we had a show, we had a different president.
I never had that. I haven't had a president.
Woo, you're absolutely right, Q.
Yes.
That was part of the reason we didn't have a show last week, because we wanted people to get their inauguration afterglow on. We wanted them to get it on.
All I gotta say is
Yeah.
Michelle and Barack, when they came out, it was like two models hitting the runway. It was insane, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They looked phenomenal.
They did. It's
They
the
really did. It was a good day, man. Good day.
yeah.
Sort of feel like a little bit of a burden was lifted.
A little bit, huh?
A little bit.
No, I think it was more than a little. Oh my gosh.
They
Yeah.
got mess, all this mess.
Yeah. Because think about the alternative, how we'd be feeling right about now. So
Oh,
This
yeah.
is
Yes.
I probably would have went to stay with Danny G for
Right. We would have been like, hey Danny, you got some spots over there, man.
telling you.
room I can sleep in. Yeah, you know what? And that's one of the reasons why Danny, with Danny, his first email to me was that he was watching the news.
Mm-hmm.
And he was feeling, he was keeping us in his thoughts, because his first emails was when, the
insurrection. No. The insurrection, the sedition, the traitorous barbarism. I have to throw that out there. I'm sorry.
No. The traitor barbarism is the Black Lives Matter protests.
Yeah, right.
But the fact that he was so insightful and he was thoughtful, that I was really looking forward to the interview.
No, good. I'm glad to hear it. Like I said, man, we've been blessed. We've been blessed with some talent.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
Well,
Speaking of that, next week we have some major talent coming on the show to join us. Nia Grace. Folks will know her. She's got a number of videos out there. She is well known in the Neo Soul genre and soul genre. And so we're excited about having Nia Grace on the show next week. And we're going to be heavily promoting her on the show, and excited about having her on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any weekend plans?
Well, actually, I have some plans. I must admit, I'm going to say this to the whole world. I am actually getting married. So the next time I'm on this show, I will be a married man. Yes.
Wait, what?
Yes. I know. Okay,
I'm not going to talk about it on air because I'm
you're gonna get in trouble.
No. I'm thinking wrong.
Make me cut you, Q man.
No, I'm processing what he said, and I'm like, wait. Okay, we'll talk about it later. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. True blessing.
What are you doing?
What happened?
What about you? Your weekend?
Television, video games,
Yeah.
all the good stuff. Waiting for the following weekend.
Well, Q, we're gonna have to do a show for you where you talk about your video games and because I think there's a show out there for guys of a certain age who are doing the video game thing. Because I think guys of a certain age do the video game thing a little bit different than folks at a different age. Let's just put it that way.
Well, that's interesting. Could be. But keeps the brain going.
Oh, the reflexes and all that good stuff too.
Definitely does.
Yeah.
Regina, why are you looking at me like that?
Like what? I wasn't even looking at you. What makes you look at you?
Yeah.
Well, it felt like you were.
Yes.
With all that judgment that you had.
I was wondering what that meant. The guys, they play games differently, and I was just trying to. I don't know what that means.
Well, because a young guy, I've just discovered online gaming, so it's all new to me.
Oh, okay.
Any parting words, everybody?
Not me. Hey, next time I'll be in North Carolina when I talk to you guys next. So I'm excited about that. I'll be in Charlotte. Hey, so I'm excited about that. Can't wait to see you.
If you don't have GameStop stock, you better get it fast.
I know, because it's gonna drop like a hot rock in a minute.
Man, I got 2 shares. Watching them and giggling.
In a minute. By the way, you got some support online, Q. It said, don't let them haze you. He was an EverQuest high-level rating guild. I don't know what that means. From 2010 to 2019. I'm sure that's some sort of game I've never heard of.
Never heard EverQuest.
But my man Torrance is a true tech head, so I know he was doing his thing. So
Torrance. There you go. Torrance, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
man. Anytime you want. Just look up the Keyman 007. We jump out there and kill some folks.
Oh my goodness.
So another great show. We'll be back next week. Everybody stay warm, stay dry, do all that stuff. Don't look at Regina because she's making faces. This is what she does when we're logging off.
I don't know who hurt you, but I have you. I have your back. Okay.
Thanks, Danny G, for coming through, doing your thing, and we will be back next week. Good night, all.
All right, be good, everyone.
Good night.